The only planet in the known cosmos that can support life is the Earth, which is located third from the Sun. It has a diameter of approx. 12,742 kilometers and a mass of 5.97 times 10 to the 24 kilograms. The atmosphere of the Earth, which is mostly composed of nitrogen and oxygen and provides the air humans breathe, has a role in controlling the temperature of the planet. Oceans, continents, and other features including mountains, deserts, and forests cover the surface of the Earth. The planet has a magnetic field that protects it from harmful solar radiation, and its rotation on its axis causes day and night. It takes the Earth about 365.24 days to orbit the Sun, which is the basis of the calendar year. The history of the Earth spans billions of years, including the evolution of life forms and the emergence of human civilizations. Basic planetary data. Distance from the Sun, 149.6 million kilometers, diameter, 12,742 kilometers, mass, 5.97 times 10 to the 24 kilogram, density, 5.52 grams per cc, surface gravity, 9.8 meters per square second, rotation period, length of day, 24 hours, approx. Orbital period, length of year, 365.24 days, approx. Number of moons, 1, the Moon, average surface temperature, 15, approx. Atmosphere composition, 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 1% other gases, such as carbon dioxide, argon, and neon. The outer shell of the Earth, the crust and uppermost layer of the mantle make up the lithosphere, the outermost layer of the Earth. The lithosphere is composed of solid, rigid rock that is broken into tectonic plates that move and interact with each other at the boundaries. With an average thickness of roughly 100 kilometers, the lithosphere is relatively thin when compared to the other layers of the Earth. The major and minor tectonic plates that make up the Earth's lithosphere are the Eurasian plate, African plate, North American plate, South American plate, Pacific plate, and Antarctic plate. The interior of the Earth is divided into several layers, each with its own distinct characteristics. From the surface down, these layers are crust, the outermost layer of the Earth, ranging in thickness from 5 to 70 kilometers, depending on the location. The crust is composed of solid rock and is the layer that we live on. Mantle, the layer beneath the crust, extending down to a depth of about 2,890 kilometers. The mantle is composed of hot, dense rock that is capable of flowing slowly over long periods of time. The uppermost part of the mantle is solid, while the lower part is partially molten. Outer core, the layer beneath the mantle, extending from a depth of about 2,890 to 5,150 kilometers. The outer core is composed of liquid iron and nickel and is responsible for generating the Earth's magnetic field. Inner core, the innermost layer of the Earth, extending from a depth of about 5,150 to 6,371 kilometers. The inner core is composed of solid iron and nickel and is believed to be at a temperature of around 5,500. The immense pressure at the center of the Earth keeps the inner core solid despite its high temperature. The atmosphere of Earth, the layer of gases that surrounds the Earth and is kept in place by its gravity, is known as its atmosphere. Nitrogen, approx. 78%, and oxygen, approx. 21% make up the majority of the atmosphere of the Earth, with traces of other gases such as carbon dioxide, water vapor, and argon. The atmosphere is divided into several distinct layers, each with its own characteristics. Troposphere, the lowest layer of the atmosphere, extending from the surface of the Earth up to an altitude of about 8 to 16 kilometers. The troposphere is where most weather occurs and is where we live and breathe. Stratosphere, the layer above the troposphere, extending up to an altitude of about 50 kilometers. The ozone layer, which is found in the stratosphere, traps dangerous UV light from the sun. Mesosphere, the layer above the stratosphere, extending up to an altitude of about 85 kilometers. The mesosphere is where meteors burn up as they enter the Earth's atmosphere. Thermosphere, the layer above the mesosphere, extending up to an altitude of about 600 kilometers. Exosphere, the outermost layer of the atmosphere, extending from the top of the thermosphere outwards to space. The exosphere is very thin, and the gases in this layer gradually dissipate into space. The hydrosphere of Earth. The hydrosphere of the Earth is the layer of water that covers approx. 71% of the planet's surface. The oceans are the largest and most crucial part of the hydrosphere since they contain over 97% of the water on the planet. The Earth's rotation and energy from the sun power the water cycle, which transports water throughout the world and controls the climate and weather on Earth.